boy Big Pain back on another video, man. And before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, man. That's very important, man. You know what I'm saying? Today I want to bring up a topic of Eagles fans with Eagles fans or Eagles history, recent history, I should say, the history before Carson Wentz, prior to the era before Carson Wentz, I should say. And a lot of y'all, if you don't know the Sam Bradford era of Eagles football, then you just probably like 10 years old, you feel me? But I want to speak about not the Sam Bradford era, I meant to say the Mike Vick era of the Philadelphia Eagles. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They did this before, man. The Philadelphia Eagles, right? When they want to get rid of you, they're gonna let they're gonna let the media manipulate the fans. You feel me? They're gonna let Do y'all remember when Deshaun Jackson was basically put off the team because he was, friends with people that was like, I guess was gang members or whatever the case may be, and Chip Kelly was like basically saying, got rid of him for that, I guess, and he got rid of Michael Vick. We got rid of Jeremy Maclin. We traded LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso, a linebacker that was coming off an ACL injury. It was probably the worst Eagles trade in history. We also kept Riley Cooper, which was the worst receiver out of the three. I think Jason Avant still was on that team too. I think we got rid of him. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you look at that roster was actually good. Great, actually, offensive wise, but they looked to they wanted to rebuild, man. They wanted to get rid of some contracts. I guess they felt like that those group of guys reached their potential, and hey, man, let's get rid of them. But the way they did it was like they knew that the fans was going to dislike it. They knew the fans was going to hate it. They knew those dudes were fan favorites. They knew those dudes was producing on a yearly basis, and they just let Chip Kelly become the scapegoat. And when they got rid of everybody, all we do is hate Chip Kelly now. Well, now all Eagles fans hate is is Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson, or both. That's all we hate right now is those two dudes right now. And I'm saying not me, but I'm saying as a fan base, that's who we hate, and I hate is towards them. And whether I like it or not, Carson Wentz was part of that Super Bowl team. He wasn't there in the Super Bowl, but he won us about 11 games, I think, and 11 and a half game. He stood there and on a torn ACL and threw that touchdown. Say, yo, you know what, Nick Foles, I'm gonna give you the division, and I'm gonna give you another touchdown, bro. Go finish this off for me because I can't. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Nick Foles for what he did, but that's besides the point. The Eagles are going through this again where they want to rebuild when they want to rebuild. And in this case, we have to rebuild, but the only reason we have to rebuild is because how we couldn't draft. After the Super Bowl, we were supposed to draft right, and we didn't. You know what I'm saying? Our three best picks, I could say, was probably Avonte Maddox, maybe Jordan Mailata, and Dallas Goedert, and I say four, Miles Sanders. Maybe a few more, but those are the four guys that I can see for the future. Maybe Andre Dillard, depending on how he's planning out. But the rest of these dudes' names are up in the air, man. A lot of these dudes aren't going to be on the roster in the future, I don't think, but maybe they are. But maybe they're going to lean towards the future of this team, man. But with that being said, if we would have drafted correctly, instead of rebuilding, we could have just retooled. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned this in the last video. And I brought that up because they're going to sit here and make it seem like Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson were the only problem. But I appreciate that Jeffrey Lurie came out and said, these dudes want to win in the near future. We're trying to build for the next 4 or 5 years. So, yes, this Jalen Hurts thing was just part of their plan. They're just going to say, we don't see us without Carson Wentz. Well, you're about to be without him. So, stop it. You drafted Jalen Hurts. I'm saying Carson Wentz was dealing with injuries as well. Couldn't finish the season. And also, y'all didn't draft anybody that was, catered towards Carson Wentz's play style, man. Y'all didn't really do any of that. And y'all could tell that Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz were affected directly from Howie Roseman, man. And I feel as though Howie Roseman is basically an owner of this team at this point because he has a lot of say so. He has a lot of rank. He has like whatever he says go. You feel me? He's an extension of the owner, I should say. And the owner basically has his hands, as any business owner should, basically. I'm saying, he has his hands clean of a lot of things, man. Like, a lot of stuff don't fall back on him. It falls back on the G. The highest he'll get is to Howie Roseman. It's never touching the owner. So he's going to always keep Howie Roseman in place to either deal with it or not. Or either he's going to deal with the heat or be doing good so there's no heat getting applied to our front office, but it's always directed at Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman get blamed for the draft. He's gonna get blamed for everything that goes on with this team. But in my opinion, do y'all really believe that Jeffrey Lurie didn't want Jalen Hurts? Do y'all believe Jeffrey Lurie didn't want to get rid of get Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin? Do y'all really think that he didn't want to get rid of these dudes, man? I believe this is everything Jeffrey Lurie wanted. You gotta look at the history of his quarterbacks, man. Carson Wentz isn't as mobile as he used to be. He's still pretty mobile, but we didn't call him any rollout plays. But he's not as mobile as he once was, maybe it's because of the weight. But he's still pretty mobile, but he's not as mobile as he once was. You look at the quarterbacks that this dude has had. He always said, I want to have an explosive offense, or I want to have a top offense. He always has a quarterback that can make plays outside the pocket. He went from McNabb to Vic to now is Jalen Hurts. But to Carson Wentz at one point was the hottest thing on a block at one point. He was the best quarterback in the league, looking like he was going to be the future of the league, which he still can be. But he always wants to have an athletic quarterback, man. Carson Wentz ran like a 4.7, I think. I think that's like the slowest quarterback he done drafted based or picked up to be leading the franchise for years to come outside of Sam Bradford, who wasn't going to stay there long. But that's like the slowest quarterback he got, which was Carson Wentz, man. So he loves these fast quarterbacks, man. So he loves these mobile quarterbacks, man. And he's been ahead of the curve before a lot of dudes. So at the end of the day, I think the team is getting molded in his view, man. He wants to have a lot of speed, young dudes. He doesn't like to have, dudes that are just gonna sit in the pocket and take punishment. I don't think Jeffrey Lurie really wanted Carson Wentz anymore, man. So they let the media, just eat him up. They didn't really let it. They let it marinate. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I'm saying? They let all this other stuff, just build up, and then they want to come through and act like, the right is not on the wall, or act like they didn't write what was on the wall, I should say. They act like, they wasn't the reason for this shit happening. Like, this is your team. Everything that happens is your fault, whether it's good or bad. So at the end of the day, I just want y'all to be aware of that, man, that they did this before, man. They got rid of fan favorites before. I'm not saying Carson Wentz is what Deshaun Jackson was at that time, but Carson Wentz was part of that Super Bowl team, whether y'all want to believe so or not. Even though he got hurt, he put us in position to get that, man. Without Carson Wentz, we would not have our first Super Bowl, man. So for that, you gotta salute him, man. And hopefully, he goes to wherever he go and have success, man. I'm rooting for him, man. Just like I was rooting for Deshaun Jackson, just like I was rooting for LaShawn McCoy, just like how I was rooting for Jeremy Maclin. All these dudes, man, it's Eagles for life, bro. There's no way you an Eagles fan and a dude plays for your team for 5 years and you go through the roller coasters with him and you just done with him. Like, you just don't have no emotional ties to him whatsoever, man. Like, you don't feel no type of way that he's up and leaving. Like, oh, no, I want what's best for the team. Well, how do you know the dudes in place know what's best for the team? You don't know that. You don't know that. This dude can't draft. He's good at making trades, so I trust him with getting just compensation for Carson Wentz, but I don't trust him drafting. So he's getting picks to potentially mess up the picks. So, I think if Carson Wentz going to a situation where if the Browns end up getting Aaron Jones and they still got Tariq Cohen or Allen Robinson with that good defense, I think Carson Wentz, he could fit that. He could fit that city, man. He fits that. You know what I'm saying? That grittiness in Chicago, bro. It's like, just like how I thought he fit Philly, man. Even though he's a dude that's not from those areas, he's like more of like, I should say, an outdoors, like country kind of dude. But North Dakota, I don't know where North Dakota at, to be honest. But like, I don't know if it's like in the country part. I don't know which part he's actually from, but He seems more of an outdoors dude, but it seems like those football teams, those cold weather cities, man, those I feel as though that's really what he's meant to be, man, playing big time games in the wintertime. And you got to come to his stadium and he's playing this physical brand of football, man. So happy Carson Wentz could, hopefully go to a team that has a lot of history, man. And hopefully, man, he does a lot of, good things over there, man. But in regards to our team, man, the Nick Foles thing, I got to address this, bruh. Yo, when I tell you, this GM, bruh, he wants a contingency plan so bad. He wants to put something in place so bad that he doesn't even get what we need, bruh. I'm going to be honest. I don't want Nick Foles backing up Carson Wentz to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Because for Carson Wentz's sake, he has one bad play is put in Foles. So I definitely don't want Nick Foles over here in Philly, bruh. We just did the same thing to Carson Wentz with Jalen Hurts. Now, y'all say he might be more mentally tough. But at the end of the day, man, it's like, do you want that? Because he's won the Super Bowl out here, bruh. Like, he has a lot of rank out here, bruh. Like, he's more loved than I think McNabb is loved out here, bruh. McNabb don't have no statue, bruh. I'm telling you, bruh. He does not have a statue, bruh. I know y'all gonna be like, I'm tripping for saying that, bruh. He does not have a statue, bruh. He brought that first Lombardi here, bruh. That will never be forgotten, bruh. Nick Foles come in, bruh, for some reason with Philly. Every time he steps in, it's like magic, bruh. Like, I don't think he's supposed to be anywhere but Philly, bruh. Like, so in that regard, it's like you got Jalen Hurts. He's going to go through, he didn't play a full 16 games. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't even played a season opener. He didn't even play a season closer. So, in other words, he's going to go through, the test of the trials and tribulations, the growing pains of a rookie quarterback, man. This is going to basically be his rookie season, bro. Now, he has snaps prior to, he has mental reps prior to, but, he still has to go out there and learn. So, it's going to be Eagles fans that think, Carson Wentz was the problem. Doug Peterson was the problem. So, we should be winning instantly. And let's say, God forbid, it doesn't go the way we want to, which I think we might have a good season. I think we should have a good season. But y'all got to not be so quick to bail on this one, bro. Because then we're going to be in a never-ending, everlasting cycle, never-ending cycle of just bailing on quarterbacks as soon as they have one bad season, bro. It's not fair to no dude that didn't even play a full 16 games yet, bro. That's my take on it, man. Catch y'all later.